All right, thank you, Greg. Okay, sometimes we see surprises and upsets on election night, but in the race for Texas governor, not the case.
No, it wasn't. Chris Sadeghi has been following this race all morning long. This one not really close. The races for both parties called just an hour after polls closed.
Yeah, Mark, and if you were looking at just the opposition within his own party, one might think that Governor Greg Abbott's popularity was waning, but the Republican voters in Texas showed last night they're still squarely behind them. There were not many surprises in this primary. The favorites prevailed by large margins in the governor's races. Abbott, despite 7 challengers from within his party, took home 67% of the vote, far clear of Allen West and Don Huffines and their vocal criticism of Abbott during this campaign. 1.2 million people cast ballots for the governor. It was even wider margin of victory in the Democrat race, where 900,000 people voted for Beto O'Rourke. That's 91% of the votes cast in the Democratic primary. O'Rourke had the name recognition from previous races, so the expected November showdown between Abbott and O'Rourke stays on course. O'Rourke is focused on Abbott's role in last year's winter storm power outages, and his record on transgender children and the new Texas elections law, points he echoed during his victory speech in Fort Worth, while Abbott, on stage in Corpus Christi, took aim at the Biden administration and their policies he believes O'Rourke wants to bring to Texas.
And my opponent has supported the open border policies that have led to chaos and record-setting border crossings. I am running for re-election to secure our border.
This governor does not trust the voters of this state to make their own decisions about who should represent them or the course or the direction that Texas will take. And so last year he signed the most voter suppressive, most voter intimidating legislation that we have seen since the Texas president LBJ signed the Voting Rights Act into law in 1965.
And looking forward to Election Day on November 8th, the Texas Politics Project poll, their latest one that was released a couple of weeks ago, had Abbott ahead of O'Rourke by 10 percentage points, including a 2-to-1 edge with the independent voters. Right now, I'm going to send it down to our senior political reporter, Jason Whiteley,